Medicinal Mysteries. The dancing plague of 1518, when people couldn't stop dancing. Hello, curious minds, and welcome back to Medicinal Mysteries. I'm Dr. Maxwell, and today we're diving into one of the strangest medical events in history. Picture this. It's a hot summer in 1518 Strasbourg, Alsace in modern-day France, a place known for its scenic beauty and bustling trade, with something unusual about to unfold. Suddenly, people start dancing. Not just a little jig, not just a happy. Full-on, can't stop dancing, collapsing from exhaustion dancing. Yes, this really happened, and it's one of history's greatest medical mysteries. It all began in July 1518, when a young woman named Frau Troffea stepped into the crowded streets with a small bouquet of flowers. As she strolled, she began to dance. Not a graceful ballet, but a frenzied jig that seemed to possess her body. Passers-by paused, intrigued by the unusual sight. At first, it was just a curious distraction, a momentary pause in the everyday routine. But within days, the spectacle drew bigger crowds. Day after day, Frau Troffea kept dancing, her steps growing more erratic, her movements more intense. People thought she was eccentric or maybe possessed by some spirit, and as the hours turned into days, something unsettling became clear. She wouldn't stop. As word spread, more people joined in, drawn into the mystery and perhaps compelled by some unseen force. But then, others joined. By the end of the week, dozens of people were dancing uncontrollably. By the end of July, Strasbourg streets were filled with hundreds of dancers, their faces flushed, their eyes wide with a mixture of ecstasy and exhaustion. Historians estimate that over 400 people had been affected, and the most shocking part, some danced themselves to death. Literally, exhaustion, heart attacks, strokes. The plague was deadly. The townspeople didn't know what to do. Some thought it was a curse. Some thought it was a divine punishment. Some just joined in, hoping it would be fun. Spoiler, it wasn't. Theories behind the mystery. Now, let's talk science. Because, as much as this sounds like a Halloween horror story, there might actually be an explanation. Theory 1. Mass hysteria. Psychogenic movement disorder. Life in Strasbourg wasn't easy. Famines, disease, and stress were common. Psychologists today suggest that this was a case of mass psychogenic illness, extreme stress triggering uncontrollable physical behavior in groups, kind of like a medieval TikTok trend, but deadly. So what happened when that stress had nowhere to escape? Some experts believe that what followed was a form of mass hysteria, a term coined in the late 19th century to describe shared psychological symptoms in a group of people. More scientifically, it's known as psychogenic movement disorder, a condition where psychological stress manifests as physical symptoms. This idea suggests that Frau Troffea's strange dancing may have been the first instance of this condition, triggered by the immense pressure and uncertainty of their times. Her actions, rather than being a sign of possession, could have been an involuntary response to an overwhelming sense of dread. The sight of someone dancing erratically might have served as a catalyst for others, setting off a chain reaction as each person unconsciously mimicked the movements they witnessed. It's a chilling thought, the idea that fear, anxiety, and stress could manifest in such a dramatic way. Theory 2. Ergot, poisoning from Claviceps purpurea, a fungus that grows on rye, a staple grain at that time. This fungus produces ergot alkaloids, chemicals similar to LSD. People who ate contaminated bread could experience hallucinations, spasms, and convulsions. Suddenly dancing like crazy doesn't seem that far-fetched. Most experts today believe it was probably a combination of stress, malnutrition, and maybe even mild poisoning. The perfect storm for one of history's strangest epidemics. The town's response. Here's the part that makes you wonder if medieval authorities were geniuses or lunatics. The town decided the best way to deal with it was more dancing, yes? They hired musicians to play music, set up stages, and encouraged the dancers to keep moving. They're thinking, if people just danced it out, they'd recover faster. Spoiler, it didn't help. Eventually, the dancing subsided on its own, leaving behind exhausted survivors, some fatalities, and a story that has baffled doctors for centuries. Now, you might be thinking, why should I care about a long-ago dance craze? Well, here's why. Lessons for modern medicine. So, what can we learn from a bunch of medieval dancers going berserk? Psychology matters. Our brains and bodies are deeply connected, and stress can manifest physically in extreme ways. Environment matters. Poor nutrition and toxins can amplify physical reactions. Observation is key. Even without understanding the mechanism, documenting patterns is how medicine advances. It's a reminder that medicine isn't always neat and tidy. Sometimes it's messy, mysterious, and yes, a little spooky. And that, dear listeners, is the tale of the dancing plague of 1518. A story that's part history, part medical mystery, and all unforgettable. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time and trouble. And if you haven't already, follow us on social media. Stay curious, stay safe, and keep wondering. I'm Dr. Maxwell from the Rooted RX Medicinal Mysteries. And remember, the world is full of medical mysteries waiting to be uncovered. You never know where you might find them. Keep exploring, and you might just find yourself dancing in the streets. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up and share with a friend.